We're back on Minecraft. You already know the vibes. We got iron, we got coal right there. We just need a tree. Bang, I found a tree. I got a whole notes pad full of stories I want to tell. And I'm debating on which one to do today still. And I'm not sure. But obviously the title, you probably guys I've seen the title and you're like, what is it? This guy's going to talk about that? What is going on? You know, I don't know what it is yet. Let me I'm going to open up my notes pad. See, the problem is one of the notes in my notes pad, literally, hold on. Let me read this word for word, bar for bar. It is I remember I had a dream. So it says, funniest way to cause world chaos. So I had a dream. I remember it was 3 in the morning. That's the last time when I wrote that in. It was 3:09 in the morning. So, I had a dream about something stupid. It had nothing to do with even that note. I woke up in the middle of the night and I was sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, dude, you know what would cause the most world chaos? Is if we just changed everything. Not at all. No. Hold up. Never mind. That's not right. It would be if we change one basic, like, aspect of science, right? So, like, what if one day we woke up and, like, the most basic science experiment just didn't work anymore? You know what I mean? Like, I think I fell asleep watching, like, Nile Red or something, and that's where this came up. But, yeah, it was basically, like, something like that just changes overnight. I'm trying to think of, like, a good example, and I really can't. How do you do that thing where figured it out, baby. That's what we do. I'm trying to think of, like, a good example of what that would look like. I guess, like, I think a good one would be, like, imagine if we woke up one day and, like, nuclear fission, like, uranium in general all went defunct, right? Like, that would cause some serious world chaos because all those bombs that everyone was scared of no longer would even be, like, functionable, right? Like, imagine if you could not do nuclear bomb. Thought? Like, I think that'd be pretty game changing. I think I meant more like, let's say hydrogen or whatever didn't react with anything else ever again. Like, it just, like, everything on Earth, or, like, it created something completely different. But, like, it was something basic. I don't know. I can't remember. I mean, this was me when I was, like, really tired and, like, in a deep trance of, like, half awake, half, like, dead. But there's something there. And I think I was kind of spitting. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what we're doing in the game, I guess. I mean, I like the fact that there's a mine right there, but it's all going to be, like, underwater. So, like, not very useful to a fella, really. I don't know. Oh, there's drowned. Oh, man. I still don't know what story I'm going to tell, by the way. I have no idea. I got a couple good ones. I think I want to talk about, my, I don't even know how to explain this, but the girl I lost my V card to, which I know, like, yeah, I probably wouldn't, like, explain it that way, but, like, it's kind of important for the story on why this all went down like it did. All right. I was young. I mean, like, I was very young. I want to say, what, like 16? Not even, maybe? I don't even think I could drive. I was probably 15. That's kind of crazy, actually, now that I think about it. That's pretty wild. I'm pretty sure I was 15, though. And it was freshman year of high school. And, you know, I had this friend group because I moved to the school that, like, I ended up staying at throughout the rest of my, like, school years in 8th grade. So, like, I had to relearn everyone, like, make new friends, like, find people who, like, I merged with well. And you know, I thought my friends were kind of, like, sick. I thought they were cool. Turns out that, you know, they are cool, but, like, they also will, like, let you do something stupid for the bit. And I didn't know this, you know. I had no idea what was going on. But yeah, so you know, I'm freshman year, and, like, there was, like, this kind of unspoken thing between my friends and, like, our friend group of, like, you know, who could, you know, get some first, right? And I'm thinking, why not me? You know, like, I could do it. And now I would talk to some girls, but I wasn't very outgoing with women in school, like 8th grade, I'd say, because I just moved there and I wasn't like, I guess I had girlfriends actually. That's just straight up a lie. I probably dated like 3 girls in 8th grade. Anyway, but like I wasn't very like super outgoing like some of my other friends. That's for sure. Some of my other friends were already like making out with chicks and stuff, right? And doing some crazy ass stuff that they like probably should take to their grave and never tell anyone, to be honest with you. But so that's just kind of my head space where I was at in life at the time. And you know, I guess so that's just kind of where I was at in life, right? Like I would, I wanted to be the first one, to be 100% honest with you. I didn't want to be the guy who never got some. I think okay, so I don't know how to start the story cuz like there's so much that goes into it. So one day, me and my buddy are at the local bowling alley, and we're just kind of hanging out bowling. Like I didn't hang out this friend that much, but like we already kind of like drank here and there, and we're like kind of getting into like that era of high school, like partying a little bit, like doing some dumb stuff that we were way too young to be doing, but like that's how high school goes. You do some stupid stuff and you learn. We were just kind of hanging out. Like we didn't expect to really be doing much together that night. We were just gonna kind of hang out for a bit and then like maybe have a couple drinks because we had some alcohol that they may or may not have stolen from the local gas station. That is to be determined in in the future. It has nothing to do with me. I didn't do that one. I didn't do that one. So we're in town, hanging out, and he gets a text from, I don't even know who texted him, but some upperclassmen texted him and said, "Hey, there's a party going on here. Like, we wouldn't mind you being there." So we took it on ourselves. It was like 2 miles out of town, 2 or 3 miles out of town. We just started walking. In the middle of the night, we were just walking in town, like out of town, into the country to go to this party. And we get there, and it is not good, really, by any means. It was quite actually bad. It was there was probably like 7 people there, right? And like there was a girl with a boyfriend. There was and then there was a single girl who I think is the one that invited my friend. And they had a bunch of alcohol. So like, these guys, they were like, 2 of them were sophomores and 2 of them were like, 2 guys were seniors. So like it was a weird situation to start off with, let me tell you what. And we get there, and I had a little bit of experience drinking at this point in my life. I drank a little bit here and there. So I figured, like, I'll be all right, Let's have a couple drinks about it and have a little bit of fun. And we're sitting there. I'm sitting on this couch. Like, it is the most ghetto thing I've ever, like, been a part of in my life now that I'm looking back. And I'm sitting there on this couch, and this girl, the one with the boyfriend, came up to me and was talking to me, and I was like, I didn't think much of it just because, like, obviously she very obviously had a boyfriend who was in the same house as us. And she was like, "Oh, let me get your Snapchat, like, just in case, like, in the future, like, there's a party or something, I'll invite you guys." I'm like, "All right, bet, fair enough," And I get it. I give her my Snap, and I don't think much of it. Oh crap. Well, let's just do this. So time comes a time, right? She texts me, like, I want to say it wasn't even like maybe 2 weeks later, and she's like, "Hey, me and my boyfriend broke up." Which, first off, never, if you ever get that text that like a girl and her boyfriend just broke up, just leave her alone, man. Just leave her alone. She ain't the one. She is not the one. But I was fooled. Because being young, I was like, okay, sucks for him, right? Nah, brother, let me tell you what, brother, he chose the right move and getting out of there. Little did I know. So, I'm like, all right, like, good to know. They invite me and my buddy again Same friends, same everything, to go hang out with them again at the same house and everything. So we do the same thing. We go to the bowling alley. We're hanging out for a bit till like things get a little quiet. We could sneak our way to this girl's house. And once again, keep in mind we are walking. We are walking. 2-3 miles out of town. And no ride because neither one of us could drive. Neither one of us had our license yet. So, we're just walking and doing this. And is it a bad idea? Yeah, 100%. Never do this ever. No safety protocol, nothing going on in our lives. We were just running it. And we get there, and, I'm like, all right, same thing as last time, right? We're just going to get a little drunk, have a little bit of fun. It is what it is, Well, the girl that just broke up with her boyfriend was like, oh, like, let me show you the house. Keep in mind, we've already been here for a minute, right? This is my second time here. Like, I've been here a couple times. Like, not a couple times. This is my second time there, like, I've been here, but I've been drinking, so I'm like, all right, yeah, sure, like, maybe there's some parts of the house I haven't seen yet, Like, I completely oblivious to the idea that, this was my opportunity. This was my chance. So I'm thinking, like, all right, like, let's do it. And, so she takes me upstairs, and, well, actually, hold on now. I'm getting a little, actually, no. This is right. She takes me upstairs, and we get up there, and she's, like, showing me this room, and we're sitting there talking, like, sitting on the edge of this bed, and we start making out, and, then, all of a sudden, I hear my buddy yell. And I'm not talking. This was like the first red flag that a brother should have probably gotten out of there and never came back to ever again. But I didn't. I'm not smart enough to learn, and I just ran it. So my buddy's like yelling, and I'm like, what is going on? Like what could possibly be happening that he's yelling like this? And yeah, we could go running downstairs, see what's popping, what's going on with my buddy, and him and the girl are sitting there like freaked out and like kind of hiding. So we're like, well, what's going on? Like, what's happening? And I don't know why I'm getting copper. I guess I can make armor. Maybe that'd be ideal because like I don't have enough iron yet. We'll see. We'll see how this mine sesh goes. And so she's like, there's people outside. And I mean, like, this is some, like, Children of the Corn stuff, I don't know what, to this day, I literally cannot explain what the hell that was going on that night. I have no idea if this was, like, a setup. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. But I look out in the field, around the house, because we're, like, it's like a house, and then there's a little bit of woods, but mainly field around it. And, there's people. You could see a good amount of people, probably, like, at least... Oh, dude, this is the problem with mining near water, dude. It's so annoying. And then it takes out your torches, and it's like, brother, why? So there's a good amount of people out there, right? Like, a scary amount of people to be out in the middle of the night just doing this. But I don't think much of it. I'm just like, oh, that's weird, Like, whatever. And I ignore it. And that was a mistake. See, that was the first red flag that a guy probably should have never talk to these people again except my buddy. But I ignore it. Me and her go upstairs. I do the thing to make my friends proud. And let me tell you what. I do remember going to school and bragging about how I'm the GOAT. And it wasn't even close. Dude, if a skeleton kills me again, I swear on everything. Where was that even from? Up there? What? Okay. So I go, I go to school, I brag about it, whatever. Is that a chain? Oh, there's a mine shaft. Where was I in the story? So yeah, I was bragging my buddies and stuff, like as a high school boy who did the deed is gonna do. I mean, let's just be honest here. That's what all high school boys do in this situation in life. So okay, let's try to get up there. After school, we're getting close to spring break, and she's like, hey, we should hang out during spring break. So I'm like, all right, keep in mind, No one's told me a lick of any information yet on this girl. I have no idea anything about her. I've never heard of her before in my life. Um, and that will become quite important in the future here. Um, so we go, spring break comes, me and her are hanging out, and I start to notice she's kind of acting a little off, right? She's a little weird, but like weird's not like the worst thing in the world, right? There's some weird girls out there that I've dated before, so I'm not thinking much of it, especially because I'm kind of blinded by a certain something, I'm blinded. And we're hanging out, we're watching the movie As Above So Below, which if you haven't seen is an amazing movie. I definitely recommend watching this movie. Very good movie. Very, very good movie. Um I can probably do that for now. Um Crap, I think we're gonna have to go down there, aren't we? Or is there more to this over here? So we're watching As Above So Below, and as we're laying in my bed, I had those cheap LED lights like every high schooler had, like 10 years ago. That the LED light strip things. I had them because why not? I thought it was the coolest thing. I thought it was cool, and I obviously was not cool. And they start like really freaking out. Like they were flickering, like really odd. I've never seen anything like it before, so I was a little like thrown off, but like I didn't think much of it. I was just like, oh, that's odd, like what's going on with them? Like maybe they're taking a crap. And I didn't think much of it. I was like, hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm taking a leak in my bathroom, which is right next to my room, and I hear the. I gotta remember how I get in here. Okay, right there. And I hear this like creaking in the floor, like a weight standing on the floor, right? Like something heavy on the floor. And it's an older-ish house that and it's on a hill, so like it settles all the time. It's always making noise. I didn't think a whole lot of it, but I was like, well, that's kind of odd, the way it sounded was weird. And I try to ignore it a little bit. I'm getting the shiver me timbers just thinking about this. I'm not even gonna lie. What do we got in this chest? Huge L, dude. Huge L. We'll take the torches though. Oh man, beetroot seed. Imagine if I said that. Wouldn't that be crazy? All right, we're gonna go this way for now. I go back in the room and she's like, I shit you not. She said this like super stone faced, no emotion, like very like matter of fact. Like it was just a normal thing to say. She's like, yeah, my demon was in there with you. And so I'm a little like thrown off by what the hell she just said to me, and I'm like, what? No. How did he get up there? I'm thrown off by what she said. And I'm a little like, I at this point, obviously concerned. So I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, did you hear him? He was in there with you. And my heart's pounding at this point. I'm freaking out. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I did. Because I'd heard the creaking on the floor. And she's like, yeah, I guess I should have probably have like warned you about that. And I'm like, what do you mean? Because I'm trying to just get information at this point. I'm trying to figure out what in the hell this woman is talking to me about. And she's like, yeah, so I have a demon that's been following me for a while. And I don't know what the hell that means. I don't know what that means. But I'm scared at this point in my life. I'm like, I terrified. And I'm like, oh. She's like, yeah. It's usually okay and friendly as long as I like tell it to be, but it is the reason my ex broke up with me. Now I'm thinking, what? What do you mean by that? Oh, it's not like, I'm on the PS5, you could just do that. Okay. So I'm like, what do you mean by that? Thinking like this woman's got to be crazy. And she's like, yeah, he pinned my ex-boyfriend up against the wall. And that, like even thinking about it now, it gives me like genuine a little cold feeling, like a little like holy, because that is truly terrifying to even think about the fact that that could be a real thing. And I mean, the evidence was kind of there. And so she tells me this, and I'm thinking, what am I gonna do? Like she's already in my house. Neither one of us can drive. She's kind of stuck here. So I'm like just kind of dealing with the situation as at 1 second at a time here. And I'm trying to ignore the fact that she said that. We continue to watch the movie, and towards the end she's like, do you want to like know more about it? And I'm like, I guess, yeah, I do, right? A little bit. And she's telling me like stories about this thing that are so indescribable that like I mean I almost have to believe her just because of how otherwise crazy she would have to be, like maybe she just had like she was just insane. I don't know, but like it felt very like actual. Oh shit. I mean the shit she was telling me was like stories about like how like she's talked to it. I mean, I never got like the origin story or anything like that, and I didn't really ask just because I was already like literally scared to death, thinking I was probably gonna die that night, and I didn't want to piss her off. Obviously, if the story is to be true, then this is not something you're gonna want to piss off. Like this is the last thing you're gonna want to make mad. So I'm trying to be like as nice as possible about it, like, oh, that's crazy, try to change the subject, just move on. She won't let me move on. She keeps talking about it. And I'm scared. I am scared. So I ignore it. And I just let it slide, that the fact that she just told me the craziest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. Where am I? I think I came from that way, right? I don't know, man. I think I got to build up. I think that's the next area to go is up. So, we're, hanging out, talking about it, like, just kind of chilling, and I'm trying not to think about it too much. And, it ends up, she leaves my house, and I'm thinking already, like, instantly, like, I got to break up with this girl, right? Because, like, what in the hell is she talking about? What is she talking about? I'm scared for my life at this point. And, she over text, she's like talking about how there was a couple of times where like I'd experience something kind of weird, and she'd be like, yeah, that's him. Like she would like mention it before I mentioned it to her, if that makes sense, and be like, yeah, he's over there right now. And let me tell you what, I fully believe everything she was saying to me. I really do. I mean, I believe that there seriously was something going on. Oh, the nastiest noise I've ever heard in my life. And, I mean, I don't know how else to explain what was going on. Because, like, just a bunch of random stuff. Like, stuff making noise, Like just stuff kind of moving when it shouldn't be moving. Stuff like that. It was just really odd. And she knew about it before, like, I even mentioned it to her. So, like, I'm a little concerned, right? And, I one day I was like, because this was after spring break, I believe. This was like the next week after spring break. And one of my best friends, I was like, dog, like, I was trying to explain to him like the situation at hand because I needed some advice just on what do I do, Can I break up with her, you think, or am I going to die? And he was like, dude, I don't even know why you're with her. I'm thinking, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean by that? You just said it in a way that was so like confused. And he's like, dude, she's a whore. Like, she's slept with everyone. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, dude, she's like a massive, she sleeps around quite often. And now knowing that, I had to ask her what her body count was, which was a mistake. I should have never have asked her this. I should just like broke up with her and try to get over, like, just like get a move on and get out of there. But that's not me. I was, curiosity killed the cat. So I'm like, hey, like, how many people have you actually, like, slept with? And I tell you, the number was way more than I thought. Keep in mind, this girl was like, she had to be just turned 16, right? Because like neither one of us had our license, so like she couldn't have been that old in a 16, obviously, if she didn't have them yet. And she's obviously a sophomore, so like she couldn't have been that old. And she I want to say it was 30s, in the 30s, and I could not believe my ears. Like, well, my eyes, because I was texting her, and I'm like, huh? She's like, is that a problem? And I said, I mean this in the nicest way, yes. I used it as the excuse to break up with her. And let me tell you what, this was the hardest decision. It was like LeBron going to Miami, all right? I could not fathom what I was doing, if it was a good idea, bad idea. All I knew was I was pretty scared about this whole thing, this whole rigmarole that I was going down. And oh, this might have been a mistake. He's not even attacking me anymore. He's just accepting his fate. What? What is going? Who is this zombie? Who is this zombie, man? He's... Am I crazy? What? He's still... What is going... Huh? Dude, that zombie just tanked my entire axe. What? Obviously, I'm not feeling great about this whole situation, thinking I'm probably gonna die. And with this, using that, she got very angry, very, very upset with me. And she was threatening stuff like that against me, like sending the thing after me. And I was like, listen, you're a great person. You're gonna find a good guy one day. I'm sorry I'm not that. And she's like, you just used me for sex. And I'm like, kinda, Loki. like, I don't know. I feel like I wasn't really, because like if she was cool and wasn't a psycho, I probably would have dated her, and been like cool with her and like had a good time and like try to make it work. But obviously not the case. Granted, I didn't know that going into what I did, right? Like I already did what I did. Like there was no going back, and I knew that, and I knew how it looked. And but like, what am I gonna do? First off, I already killed my reputation because everyone in school knew about this. It was a big deal in my grade that I did this. Like people were like would bring it up to me and be like, dude, I can't believe you did that. Like, holy crap, I can't believe like you lost that, and I'm like, yeah, I guess, like, like people are trying to like hype me up about it, and I was so down. And also like killed my reputation with women because every girl, in the school now knows what I've did with her. So like none of them want anything to do with me, and I'm like, oh dude, I should have saved some wood. Crap. So like, I killed my reputation for this girl. I'm scared for my life, and now I'm like kind of just freaking out, and I'm hoping I don't die. I guess like nothing really happened after that when it came to like the there's a village right there. I felt bad. I felt awful about it, and I told her many times like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for things to like end up like this. But like it is what it is, and she like grew to be okay with it, and like I didn't really keep in touch. That girl, I mean, when she said, yeah, he was in there standing next to you, like in the bathroom, without me ever saying anything to her. Granted, My room was next to the bathroom. Maybe she heard the floor creak through the wall. That's a very, very good possibility. Was I going to take a risk on that? Hell no. Hell no. And I don't know if y'all believe in ghosts, but like, brother, I've had way too many experiences that like are just kind of unexplainable in one way or another. And I just hear a baby zombie? Say swear. And I was not about to take that risk. Either way, I was not going to take one for the team and die that way. So, I decided that for my own safety and the risk of everyone else in my family and around me, that I was not going to do that. I was going to have to break up with her already as it was. Granted, she was also sleeping with slept with half the school, and I didn't know about that. But, in the long run, do I regret it? I guess no, right? I mean, like, I'm still alive. I think it built some lore. It built some character that I dated an absolute psychopath that may or may not. Maybe she wasn't crazy, though. Maybe they're, like, she seriously just had a demon. Like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of believable. But, yeah, how would I ever know, But, yeah, that's kind of just how that story goes, I guess. That's kind of the end of that one. She could have just been making it up, right? I mean, like I said, she could have obviously have heard the floor creak in the bathroom and just said that stuff, but man, I don't know. I still to this day believe that she wasn't lying. Just the way she was so like matter of fact, and when she was telling me stuff when she wasn't at my house happening, like that it was doing, like I don't know, man. It was just a weird situation that like I'm almost inclined to just have to believe her because it would be harder to fake it in a way. But this all comes back to me thinking about what the hell did we see, me and my buddy, out in the fields that day at that girl's house. Because I mean, I visibly could see people just standing there. No phones, no vehicles. We're off a highway, kind of. Not a highway, but like a county road, which is essentially a highway kind of thing. Like, you can't really park. You can't park on the side or you're not supposed to. So, like, and we're 2-3 miles out of town. Like, granted, we made the walk, but, like, who was that? And why were they there? And we even went outside and were like yelling, like just to see if they would react. Nothing out of a single one of them. No emotion, no like movement, just standing there. Like I said, kind of surrounding the house. And I to this day, I can't believe that even young me just let that slide. Obviously, I was kind of blinded, but like, I really don't know what that was, like, or why or anything. And my buddy doesn't remember that night, like, at all, really. He said, like, I asked him about it, like, recently, and he was like, yeah, dude, I really don't remember it. I'm sorry. He remembers the first time we went there, but not the second time. And, yeah, I mean, it's just weird to think about. Like, what was going on there, Who were they? Why were they there? Like, because I don't even know a group of, like, 30 friends in the same group that would be willing to do something that odd just to fuck with us, Because, like, no one knew that me and my buddy were there. So, like, it was just a weird situation that I really, truly do wonder if that wasn't also something, like, spiritual or something of the sorts. Like, she didn't set that up. I don't know. It was just very odd. And I remember she was kind of acting weird before it happened. And then after it happened, she just kind of went back to, like, how I remembered her being, which was kind of normal. So I was just like, whatever. Like, it is what it is. Basically, what I'm saying is it's very easy to be blinded by certain things when you're just trying to get you some. You know what I mean? Like, you ignore a lot of red flags. And I've learned over the years that it's probably best not to ignore those red flags because there's usually a reason why that red flag is there. I guess another fun little detail. So, when we woke up the next day, that night with all the people there and, like, after my how would you explain? I guess every high schooler's dream, right? The night after said thing happened. I woke up the next day and laying in this random bed, no idea whose room I'm in, and the door's open, and there's this little kid staring at me. And keep in mind, the girl's gone. I don't know where she is. I'm in this bed alone, and I wake up, and there's this little kid standing in the doorway, one eye looking directly at me, and the other eye looking like cross-eyed type of thing. And I granted it doesn't obviously there was something going on there, right? Like, I mean, like, she obviously had something going on there. But when I tell you, when you wake up after a night like that where you just like had a bunch of people surrounding a house and you wake up to a little girl just staring at you, brother, I was so scared. Like, I was like frozen in fear just like looking at her, because I'm like, what do I do? You know, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm trapped in this room upstairs. I can't jump out a window. Like, who do I think I am? You know. And yeah, I mean that just kind of capped off the whole experience, I will say. But yeah, that was my experience with Psycho Girl. And did I learn my lesson? Yeah, I can say I don't think I've dated a girl that crazy ever again since. Thankfully, so far in my life. I am young still, but as of right now, that is the only time something like this has happened. So we're still doing good there. That'll probably do it for this video. I'm probably going to film the next one right away. I guess it doesn't really affect you guys, but kind of a fun story, but still very terrifying. Still scares me to this day that something's going to find me. I haven't watched As Above, So Below since. Love that movie to death, but cannot watch it alone just because the implication of something happening like that, So yeah, I haven't watched it since. Refuse to watch it with women. And I am scared for the rest of my life. So that'll do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the story and are enjoying this type of content. It is a little interesting. It's hard to remember certain aspects of stories because this was 7 years ago? I'm 22 now. 7 years ago, almost a decade ago. So remembering some of the finer details is a little more difficult, but we get there over time. And I think all in all, I think I got it kind of put together half decent. I mean, it's a little over the place, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys all have a good rest of your week.